This is a special edition of KPIX Eyewitness News.
Good evening. We're on a half an hour early tonight because it's that time of year again when America's pastime becomes America's passion. The baseball playoffs start at 5 o'clock here on Channel 5, and it took till less than 24 hours before that first playoff game for the A's to find out who they'll be up against. Well, right now the A's are on their way to Boston, where everyone is talking about the catch.
Right field. Bernansky. The Red Sox win! No, he dropped the ball! He dropped the ball! Wait a minute! Did he get the out? Yes, he did! Believe it, New England!
Wait a minute. Merrill hasn't left home plate.
His diving catch in the ninth inning won the division for Boston, but the A's have a little momentum going for themselves. They got a big send-off at the Oakland airport today, and Les Trent was there.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 2.
Strike up the band. The AL West champion Oakland A's are on their way to the airport for the trip to Boston and a battle for the American League pennant. Fans are here. Some have been waiting for hours to see them off.
Aren't you supposed to be in school now?
Yeah.
How come you're not? What, do you think this is a national holiday?
Yeah.
Sweep. We're going to sweep 4, and then we're going to sweep 4 more. The magic number is 8. 8 is the number.
The crowd starts out small and grows and grows. But for a team that drew nearly 3 million fans this season, it's anything but a large crowd.
Well, it's been my experience since 1972 that people are reluctant to take off work, you know, to go to something like this. And it seems like no matter whatever the situation or how much publicity it gets, the crowd is always about the same size.
Bring on the team the fans hope will clinch the AL pennant for the 3rd time in as many years.
I think we've learned what we have to do on the field, and the other thing we need is your support and enthusiasm. So appreciate you being here today, and when we get back here for Tuesday, let's make a lot of noise and show the Red Sox what a home fan sounds like.
Well, it's going to be an exciting series. We'd like to win the first one in Boston, come home, win 4 in a row, and we'll see what happens.
The A's appeared here for only about 10 minutes, but that didn't matter to the fans, many of whom had been here for several hours. The fans know that there will probably be larger celebrations to come in the days ahead. In Oakland, Les Trent, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
And here's what you'll be seeing in the next few days on Channel 5. Coming up next, the first game of the National League Championship Series. Pittsburgh is at Cincinnati. And right after the game, we'll have a sports special. Now, tomorrow, Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. That starts at noon. And on Saturday, the A's take on Boston at Fenway Park. Game 1 of the American League Championship Series starts at 5 o'clock right here on Channel 5.
Well, beginning...
Saw a little bit earlier, the A's got a nice send-off. They're on their way to Boston.
On their way. We may be talking to some of them later. We'll be following this National League Championship Series with a post-game show, and hopefully we'll hear from Joe Fonzie and Tony La Russa in Boston later on this evening, and we'll have post-game shows following most of these championship series, and of course the World Series. Dusty Baker from the Giants will be joining us, along with Dwayne Murphy, former captain of the A's. So,
that's going to be great.
Yeah. Baseball is us right now, folks. Exactly a year ago tonight, the Giants opened the National League playoffs with an 11-3 rout of Chicago. Of course, the Reds and Pirates have supplanted the Giants and Cubs as division champs. Yesterday, we asked San Francisco manager Roger Craig to pick a winner of this year's NLCS.
I like Pittsburgh. I think the way they played the last 6 weeks since the All-Star break, when the Mets got hot, they still stayed in first place and stayed close and still won. Where Cincinnati struggled a lot, they're having some problems with some starting pitching right now, and even though they have a strong bullpen, I'm leaning towards Pittsburgh.
The Giants, by the way, beat Cincinnati 11 of 18 times this season. The Pirates took 8 of 12 from San Francisco. At Riverfront Stadium tonight, Pittsburgh will send Bob Walk to the mound to face former A's pitcher Jose Rijo. Walk started Game 1 of the 1980 World Series for Philadelphia. Of course, you can see the game here on Channel 5 in just a few minutes. Now, here's bonus trivia for a 4:30 newscast. The 1990 playoff opponents are the same in both leagues as they were back in 1975. That was another bad news, good news year for the Red Sox, who beat the A's but lost a memorable 7-game battle to Cincinnati in the series. Joe Fonzie is in Boston for more on the American League Championship Series.
Now that the drama's all over in the American League East, the next topic of speculation is the starting lineup A's manager Tony La Russa will put on the field Saturday in Boston. In center field, La Russa has to choose between the speedy Willie McGee and Dave Henderson, who was the starter most of the season and has built quite an Oakland following. The good news about Henderson is he seems to be recovered from the arthroscopic surgery performed on his knee last August.
I mean, it's quite simple. If Tony doesn't put me in a lineup, I sit the bench and come off the bench, and vice versa. Same thing with Willie McGee. So it's just one of those things we put on Tony's lap and on his manager's desk, and he'll decide.
If you want to speculate about lineups, the 8 position players who started yesterday's game against the Angels would be a good bet to be the 8 who will start on Saturday in Boston.
There's a couple of decisions yet still to be made, and second base I think is still a tough call, and I also think that with Dave Henderson looking better and better, and see how healthy Jose is, and there's still decisions to make.
However the decisions come down, somebody will be disappointed, and it's how the players handle that disappointment that characterizes a La Russa team.
When it comes down to the bottom line, we both want to play, and we both can't. And you just kind of just try to keep all that stuff separate. And when the game starts, it hurts a little bit if you're not out there, in the beginning of the game. But once the game gets going on, you forget all about that.
For you, you feel confident that you can fill either role no matter how it comes out?
Well, I don't have a choice. I work here.
There is certainly an element of prestige that goes along with being named a starter for Game 1, but the A's haven't gotten this far by relying on just 9 players, and they won't try to do so in the playoffs either. In Oakland, Joe Fonzie, Channel 5 Sports.
Rick, so get your hot dogs and your peanuts ready, because we'll be underway here in just a few minutes.
I know, it's going to be good. And
yeah.
Dave Stewart is up on the mound on Saturday. That's going to be good.
That's right, against Roger Clemens, looks like.
That's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Wayne. And since the scheduling is going to be a little bit different, you're going to be seeing some different programs on Channel 5 tonight. We want to let you know what is coming up. The National League Championship Series starts next. That's at 5 o'clock. And after the game, as Wayne mentioned, our KPIX Championship Report. It's a sports special wrapping up the game and looking ahead to the A's playoff games in Boston. And then we'll be back with a news update after that, followed by our movie Animal House. And then, on Nightcast, another reason